Responding to calls for papers. Becoming proficient at the genre of the conference proposal abstract will ensure that you get accepted at academic conferences, thus demonstrating your intellectual investment in your field. Evidence of this type of conference participation on your CV will separate you from other job market candidates who don't have a record of professional development experience. Depending upon the professional organization, CFPs normally come out anywhere from 8 months to a year prior to the actual conference, and normally have a deadline of a month after they are distributed. Once you have identified a CFP that interests you, place a personal deadline in your calendar that precedes the actual deadline by a week. Some organizations offer a proposal vetting process that allows you to submit and get feedback before you actually submit your final proposal. But this feedback feature doesn't exist in all organizations, and normally you must prepare early for this type of response. Also, different organizations have different processes of submission. The 4Cs and CWPA will accept group proposals, but will also review individual presentations that they then place within a panel coordinated by the conference organizers. MLA accepts proposals for themed sessions, and then presenters submit proposals to the session coordinator. The CFP will explicitly detail deadlines, proposal word count, conference theme, and a submission process. For example, the conference organizers may ask you to submit in hard copy or via a digital software program. They will also ask if you have particular accessibility needs, technological requirements, or projection requests. Preparing the proposal abstract. The CFP for the academic conference is a specific genre with its own conventions and must include the following. 1. A statement that presents a large problem or a topic widely debated in the field. 2. A sentence that identifies a gap in the current discourse of this topic. 3. A claim of how this proposed research project fills that gap. 4. An original argument that the panelist presents to the audience. 5. Specific primary and/or secondary sources that provide evidence for this research project. 6. A concluding sentence that expresses the implications and/or interpretations of the presented project. Begin drafting your proposal by writing each of these necessary elements in straightforward, declarative sentences. Avoid filler statements such as, "It can be argued that," or "I wish to propose the argument that," because your audience will already assume that you plan to do that in your proposal. Once you have articulated each of these ideas concisely, make the necessary transitions between sentences, rearrange and/or combine phrases so that they provide appropriate emphasis, and make sure your word count fits the proposal restrictions. Below you will find 2 examples of proposals for conference presentations. While they address very different content matter, they share organizational strategies and similar genre conventions for this type of document writing. Pause this recording and allow yourself some time to study both the CFP and the proposal response. You will also find on this website a PDF of these examples that you can download. Now let's analyze the first proposal, Curricular Overseeing versus Curricular Liberties, Designing Infrastructure for Pedagogical Innovation. You will note that even the title references the overall problem or debate, the topic, and the purpose. The proposal abstract then offers a descriptively concise, yet narratively informative synopsis of the presentation plan. In this case, the author used 142 words of the 150-word limit imposed by the conference organizers. The opening statement of the proposal addresses a problem or debate that exists in the field of composition and rhetoric. It acknowledges a contention and contradiction between giving full liberty to teachers in the composition classroom versus setting strict curricular parameters. The second sentence identifies a gap in the discourse about this debate, recognizing that a binary between these 2 contradictory perspectives does not need to exist. It also offers the thesis statement of the proposed presentation. The subsequent sentence states the evidence that panelists will present and the argument that they make with it, namely a rationale of the curriculum they address and various examples of how instructors approach the guidelines of the curriculum. The concluding statement declares the importance and implications of this presentation project. In this first example, the proposal abstract follows the tactical moves of this genre in its conventional order. The second example, Hammer to Emperor, has very different content matter relevant to issues of medievalism, yet shares similar genre conventions for this type of document writing. Its opening sentences presents the overall debate in the field and contextualizes the discussion through specific scholars in the field. You don't need to give a detailed statement about these scholars' work, since your conference proposal reviewers will no doubt be familiar with their work. Here the proposal writer uses the variously named scholars to demonstrate the debate in the field. The second sentence identifies the gap in the discourse and states what this presentation will specifically address. The next states what evidence, particularly from primary sources, that the panelists will use to prove the point of this presentation. The concluding sentence articulates the original argument of the overall presentation and its purpose. Professor Jay Gates of John Jay College of Criminal Justice, who provided this example, has also sketched out a useful template that may assist in preparing a first draft of a conference proposal abstract. While this simplified formula for a proposal abstract may help you compose a first draft, it is advisable to revise the statement so that it appears less perfunctory and more evidently crafted. The proposal reviewers will often read 25 to sometimes 100 proposals, so the more concise and cogent you can articulate your ideas, therefore making it easily legible, the more likely your proposal will be accepted. Once you've crafted your conference proposal, you should share it with a peer who has conference experience and/or your mentors for feedback. Finally, some professional organizations offer special graduate travel or research awards. Check the conference CFP or the professional organization's website for graduate student funding opportunities. Good luck with your future conference proposals.